Remember in November, she had the baby and they started posting photos, and even leading up to the birth of the baby, they were posting photos of her belly, sharing every detail from, the announcement to the gender reveal, with them constantly doing bump photos and updates on the bump and the progress of her pregnancy. They published the birth special on TLC. And then in the months leading up to the birth, people started to notice that Ginger just seemed a little bit off. They were worried about her. They were worried about her mental health. She started posting about anxiety.
What was that I just said?
Remember in November, she had the baby and they started posting photos, and even leading up to the birth of the baby, they were posting photos of her belly, sharing every detail from, the announcement to the gender reveal, with them constantly doing bump photos and updates on the bump and the progress of her pregnancy. This was coming from a place of these two had always posted photos of their kids, and it was a stark contrast. Before her pregnancy, they were promoting a podcast. They had launched a merch store, and they seemed to be on this trajectory of just like going towards the blogging, that Christian blogger world. And then that all halted.
It's almost like they want privacy, but privacy is not a Christian sacrament.
They have not been promoting their merch anymore. They were seen in LA, posting photos in LA, wearing hats that weren't theirs.
Now they're stealing hats, and they're not even hats with rhinestones.
And Ginger's looking sad in all of these photos. There's a photo that she posts where her eyes look like...
Just look how sad she is with that smile on her face.
Like she's been crying, and Jeremy is posting all of these photos like she's so pretty and I love her, and then there's no photos of the kids at all.
So a man posting pictures of his wife online and then calling his wife pretty? And we all know that no woman or mother ever puts a picture of herself online without her kids.
But then they do a 2-month update on the baby. So it seems suspect, and it seems like it's a reaction to people wanting to know where the baby is.
Nothing's really more sus than when reality stars put up videos when they've been asked to.
Because they're not putting it out on social media. So they put out this video, which again seems bizarre because first, Jeremy's the one that's doing most of the talking, and again, they're not showing the baby's face. So then people are worried, like, is something wrong with the baby? Is there a reason why she's not showing the face? Is there something going on with, what is going on here? Are they trying to protect the baby's privacy? Which seems weird because they're on a show, they're on a reality show.
Yeah, no, that kid doesn't have any rights to privacy. That kid knew the moment it let itself become conceived that it was going to be on this reality show.
One of the big questions and one of the big rumors that's been going around is that Ginger and Jeremy are struggling in their marriage.
And we all know how true rumors are. I mean, just ask that poor rodent that has to go up Richard Gere's ass.
In the video that they published, which was only a minute.
Well, who needs more than a minute to spot postpartum depression or when a marriage is over?
And it's weird because the way that she's holding the baby, she seems like sort of detached from the baby.
Because only those mothers detached from their babies hold them.
How she talks about the baby is very odd because she says, the baby's eating well and sleeping well.
Evie Jo's doing great with her sleeping and eating.
Because if you're a real mom, by 2 months you're bragging about your child speaking Mandarin.
And then she's like, the best part of this time is seeing Felicity become a big sister.
I think the most exciting thing about this chapter of our lives has been seeing how Felicity has graduated to big sister.
Wait a second. They have a newborn and they spoke about the older child?
And I don't mean that lightly because I do think that maybe PPD is an option here because generally when you say the most exciting part about having the baby wouldn't typically be like about the other child. So her biggest excitement is seeing how Felicity is becoming a big sister.
Yeah, it's almost like she's a mother to 2 kids, so it must be postpartum depression.
And then from the way that she's holding the baby, kind of like disconnected to the baby, sort of like hanging off onto the side.
Yes, because if you don't bury that child into your breastfeeding breast, regardless if your breasts leak or not, then you're just not bonding as a mother.
Jeremy's doing all the talking and basically saying like, we're just sort of enjoying this time as it is. Like Don't worry, that's why we're being weird, because they're just trying to enjoy themselves as a family.
Well, because everyone knows that parents don't actually really enjoy their families, right?
I think
Yeah, that's where I went wrong, so I'm just going to stop this right here.
she was showing signs of anxiety leading up to the birth,
Oh, was someone too scared for childbirth?
and then following the birth has stopped posting photos of the kids, is not engaging as much on her Instagram.
Yeah, I have one kid and I always find time for that. I mean, just because you have 2 kids under 5 doesn't mean you don't have time for social media.
For months, fans have wanted to know what's going on with Ginger and Jeremy not showing photos of their kids. Now, suddenly, an update is posted on TLC giving an update on Evie Joe. So weird that nothing has been said about Justin's wedding. I've also never seen updates like this in the past for others that had babies during the off season. Good to see the kids are okay, but something is so off here. And it did feel off to me. So what were the responses from you guys? One person said, Jeremy sounds like he isn't too sure about things. Another person says, he gives me major creeper vibes like the guy John from the show and Tell Me Your Secrets. Person said they're calling the baby Joe. One person said, is it me or is she holding EJ weird? Not connected to her at all.
What the fuck?
Anyone would lose their sparkle when having kids this close together. It can be very tiring and overwhelming at times. Doesn't mean Ginger is suffering from postpartum. Even if she is, how they choose to deal with it is totally up to them. People need to quit assuming the worst. Also, if they decide to not share the photos of the girls all at once, it is their decision. They are not obligated to post pictures of them, which is another good point.
Thank you so much for that good point there, C. Kenyon.
And then someone said this, something just seems so artificial about the way that they're standing there.
They're not really standing there?
Age, and it's totally up to them. I think we don't have to assume that she has postpartum.
Well, I already diagnosed her, so.
But I think something's definitely, I mean, you just don't go from being super, super, super excited, posting constantly about your kids, and then suddenly you just stop once you have the baby.
Yeah, because the minute you push that kid out, you get all of your old energy back and you can do anything.
Like something had to have changed.
But it had to have been something big, like having a baby.
And the fact that Jeremy is consistently posting photos about how pretty she is.
I mean, that's just nuts. I mean, what's next? Is he going to say she's smart?
And then you guys, he posted a photo where it looks like he photoshopped her, which was so weird to me.
Yeah, that's so weird. I mean, I would never Photoshop my husband into another picture. I would just use the other picture.
So what are your thoughts about all of this? Katie, you're reaching. I don't know.
Okay, now it's time for member shoutouts. I'd like to thank Sheila Foster Swanson, Jay, Dottie Morgan, T. King, Noah Night Fox Anime, Keeping Up with KP, Atticus Finch, Absinthe 12, Lufa, Plays and Rain, Spurgey, Sherry Landscaping, Sassy Nas, Sassy Elmo, Sweet Home Alamanda, Trisha Biggs, That Amber Chick, Jessica, Tifa, Sue M, Crystal, Shermar, Selfie Queen Cindy, JJ, Sky Vision, Karma Kid 101, Sleepy Superhero, Shaz Z, Mingo Mish, Camilla, Karen Bluebird, Leah, Carolyn Pierce, Laura Nelson, Gary McLaughlin, Jeanette Stevens, Yellow Submarine, Sarah Loves Donuts, Mary HB, Lil Red Y'all, Kelly Gentry, Not All Who Wander, Enough is Enough, Chanley Dish, Chicken Cakes, Susan, Crystal, Pink Flamingo, Claire Esper, Lizzie Stardust, Babibbity Bobbity Boo, Aussie Mum, Jen Gerard, Sensibly Morbid, Poodlerific, Larissa M, Tina Colry, Rena Rue, and Yoo-Hoo Shoo Shoo. Thank you again so much for joining, and thank you everyone for watching.